this map is going to be capture the flag dome, Gooch. What are we thinking for this? Are we going to see a similar thing that we saw on Bootleg?
I would, to be honest, expect a very fast-paced game between the two sides, as we did see on Bootleg. I mean, Bootleg is a rather larger map than Dome. Dome, of course, being the smallest map in our rule set. So I think if they can do it on Bootleg, they're bound to do it on Dome. So interesting fun fact: Scumpy was actually the first ginger person to win the event.
I saw that. It is an interesting one.
Only Gunchy from Prophecy ever placed in the top 4 who had ginger hair before this.
Oh, there you go.
So interesting fun fact for the viewers at home. We are just going to have to wait once again for the host to be swapped on this system link lobby. I'll just sit here and refresh. On the stream now, for those of you that are perhaps a little bit more unaware, we'll just need a recap of the rules. They are on the screen right now, as are all of our sponsors. We have got Regio 42 and their partners. We are sponsored by Rockstar. We've got Squid Grip sponsoring the MVP of the entire event. Madcatz, of course, sponsoring the Call of Duty tournament. It is the Madcatz MW3 Championship. And we have also got Scuff Gaming in partnership as well. So a huge list of big people in the competitive scene, so it is great to see people like those getting on board with us here.
Yeah, and I've been over to the Scuff stand, said hello. They do have a little Scuff station over there, and they're letting people test out the controllers, and we're being pumped full of energy by Rockstar, thankfully. So hopefully we'll be able to be enthusiastic throughout the remainder of this stream, as the game is just restarted. I don't think one of them was actually ready there. Here we go, going on to capture the flag dome now. Game number 3 in this best of 5 winner bracket round 3, Optic versus Nova. This is EGL7 Championship, brought to you by Madcatz, stream brought to you by Gamer Gloves.
Yeah, Optic Merc is who we are going to go on board with. First of all, we will go on board with the Optic side as they take on Nova in their 3rd map here. Currently scored tied 1 apiece between the two sides. Perhaps a little bit of a shock.
And it's interesting actually looking at Merc here, because I'm more familiar seeing him with the ACR class. It's certainly an assault rifle class. But it's going to be interesting to see if they're going to be playing 3 SMGs here on Dome.
It would be an aggressive and ballsy approach, to say the least, against Optic, who are renowned for their rotational slaying ability. They do play passive when they need to, though, so they've never been afraid of playing passive, so to speak. They don't necessarily need to win in such a glorious fashion. Anything for the win is all that is needed. But no, on board with Merc, first of all, he is using that PP90, blowing up the barrels at the back just to make sure that no stuns fly over and catch him off guard. Has stunned over, but got nothing off there. Nova get the first blood.
Okay, Merc answering back now, takes out one, pre-firing round that corner. No one was there though. And oh yes, there was. Rubes just crawling along the floor there to take out Merc. As Scuff answers back against Rubes. Optic trying to push out, but Nova doing a brilliant job here. Actually seems like Nova are making more ground than Optic.
Yeah, Nova do actually look very strong on these capture the flags. I'm slightly taken by surprise. Of course, they were the underdogs, with Optic being the reigning champions, whilst they played under the Apex NA tag before. But now they are choosing to push out. They do play not necessarily passive or defensively, but they play it slow. They take their time. They make sure it is exactly perfect when the time comes. But kills just being exchanged between the two sides now, and Optic heavy down this left hand side. Bagnall with a 2-piece, went for the 3rd, but got taken down by Scum.
Now Scum trying to get a little bit more ground, but Rubes is there ready and waiting for him as he picks him off. And we see Optic just trying to break out of this loading bay area again, but the grenades and stuns are coming in and just driving them back and back, as Nova are playing really, really well here on Dome.
Yeah, Big Timer has pulled out the ACR. He has got the extreme condition with focus on as well. Bagnall taking him out in the loading bay area. Kills just being exchanged between the two sides, which would suit Nova, really. They are on the weaker of the two sides at the minute, so.
Okay, let's see what Merc can do here. Just trying to hold the corridor, manages to pick up the kill, but he's incredibly weak and just needs to stay alive for his team. He seems to be doing this defensive work with the SMG. As we said before, you usually see an ACR down here, but this is going to allow him to push out when they do get maybe 2-3 down and move up as a unit to try and pull the enemy flag.
Yep, there is 2 Optic members there securing this left-hand side. Rambo just checking the corners before jumping around into loading bay. Pre-firing every corner as he goes. Takes down Bagnall. Big man Joe going in huge with a 2-piece. Comes head-on-head with Scump, but Scump there just ready to pick up the mess and keep his team defending nicely. Optic
are just trying their best to break out of this area, but they're finding it so difficult, because every time they come across someone like Saint who picks up the kill, and what Optic have actually done, they've chosen an alternate route, and here we go now. We're seeing them push right round the back. Flag has been pulled, and that's going to be all of Nova down, and the support of Optic is all there. This should be a flag capture now, Gooch.
I would have thought so. Merc picked up the flag, did take his time before actually choosing a way to run, seeing where his teammates were on the minimap and seeing where Nova would spawn, knowing that Nova would spawn on the far right over by the Domo C flag, meaning that he could run it all up the loading bay side unchallenged. So nice first flag capture there from Optic. They go 1-0 into the lead here on the better side of the two on Dome. This is third map.
And I did actually think we were going to see some sort of relay going down there, but clearly not. That didn't actually happen. Merc, though, just trying to spray through to pick off this guy that's hanging around the flag area. Finally does go down, but it's by Scump, and there we go, 3 down against Nova, and this is the flag run once again. This time it is in Merc's hands, and it is looking good for another capture.
Yep, he is safely in loading bay now. Whenever I've played this game, I've always considered myself into loading bay with my teammates all alive to be safe. Of course, there is the ominous Gataga spot lying on the flag, but I'm sure their teammates set up new. Big Timer going in now, huge. Merc just following in a enemy player. Big Timer again, Big Timer with a 3-piece now. Merc pulling that flag, goes for the challenge with that PP90 at long range. Big Timer, I'm sure he's on a 6-kill streak now.
He's on fire. He's having a phenomenal best of 5 despite losing that first round. He played absolutely brilliantly. Let's just bring up the scoreboard and see 13-3, top fragging overall in this game with so little deaths.
Yeah, Big Timer really going in huge for the Optic Gaming lineup. Does mean, of course, that they will have to play Search and Destroy on Seatown next map. But here we are on Dome, first of all. Big Man Joe and Rubes picking up kills. Rubes getting shut down as soon as he advanced in towards the flag. Scumpy just doing some defensive work now with that PP90. Middle door. Does manage to shoot into somebody from the Nova lineup, but not killing him. Oh, in a role reversal now. 3 kills. Rambo doing some defensive work, goes in. No, Bagnall's going to pick up that kill. Merc with the blocked nade spawn, trying to make his teammate spawn middle map. Bagnall did actually seem to take a while to pull that, so not maybe capitalising as much as what he could have done. Yeah,
and it allowed Optic to actually spawn loading bay area. Big Timer is going to pick up the kill, but the flag is still out in the open there, and Nova could potentially do some work with that. However, Rambo has now picked up their flag and could quite happily take this to a stalemate just to secure the 2-0 victory on side 1.
Rambo was last alive for the Optic lineup. He did ever so well there to pull that flag, and now he has been joined by his teammates to provide some support. Bagnall dropping Rambo, Scumpy dropping Bagnall. Kills are being exchanged. This is looking better from Nova now, but is that flag going to get picked up? Who knows? No, Big Timer and Merc. Flag is in the hands of Optic, and this is going to be a stalemate situation, I think, unless Merc can do anything. But no, 2-0 in at the half for Optic Gaming. Very well played from them. As you can see on the stream, high fives all around. So they are looking forward to this next round. If I just bring up the scoreboard, 17-6 from Big Timer, huge play. Let's get on board with Nova and see how they can answer back. I'm going to go on board with Bagnall first of all, using pretty much the same setup as the Optic players, extreme condition and with focus.
Yep, and he's going to be choosing this ACR. Remember, they are only 2 flags down, so can certainly pull this back. They are the underdogs here, going up against the champions Optic, previously playing under the Apex organisation. Bagnall just trying to find someone there at the top, but didn't spot anyone, so he's going to be able to push through to middle map now and trying to provide some support. He does spot 2 and could potentially pick up the 2-piece.
No, only gets 1 off the spawn. Big Man Joe getting knifed by Scumpy over at the loading base side. Does manage to take him down. Well played, Bagnall. Rubes pushing up as well, taking down Rambo. Merc replying. Big Timer off the spawn takes down Bagnall as well, and we are all back set up. Big Man Joe doing some defensive work now as he is trying to push out. They are currently trailing 2 flags to 0. Yeah,
and those stuns just going through there in the top corridor. Windows do connect, so he knows that there are people down here, and he's just biding his time trying to make this kill against Scum, which he does eventually get. Takes a lot of damage though. Somehow still alive. He's going to allow him to push further up, and he really does need his teammate support here if he's going to be able to make any sort of ground and any sort of flag pull.
Yeah, Big Man Joe's still weak. They do know where he is. Merc manages to take out that kill. Bagnall and Saint doing some defensive work now. I think, to be honest, they do need to be looking at pushing out more. Of course, defence is the first line of attack. They do need to defend it. Can't let it get any worse, but without pushing out, they cannot make it any better.
Well, Bagnall's just sitting tight there. I think he's a little bit concerned that there were going to be some Optic members going into the loading bay, which is possibly why he's chose to actually move here down that side. But 3 of his teammates go down, and he needs to keep this flag. This is not ideal for Nova at all. They're on the back foot as it is, and they're having to defend. Bagnall go for the turn on against Merc. Absolutely destroys him there as Big Timer does answer back to even things out. But brilliant play there from Bagnall.
Yeah, that was great turn on there from Bagnall to actually stop that flag capture, essentially. Saint off the spawn as well to do so. Bagnall just managed to buy them some time, so well played to Bagnall there.
And Here is Saint chucking that grenade over, hoping his stuns are going to connect and just prevent them moving up, because they need to be the aggressors here. Nova are trying their best to just get near that dome area, but every time they do, they just see one of the Optic players' guns and bullets flying into their face. Big man Joe and Rubzo and Bagnall all collectively taking out 3 of Optic, leaving 1 left alive, and he has just been called out.
Yeah, I did hear Bagnall screaming that call out there, but Merc, quick to it, takes down 2, stops the flag pull as well. Bagnall opting for a different route now.
Yeah, it's not been expected. You can see most of the Optic squad actually locked down in dome, which isn't too much of a problem. Of course, it's not ideal for them, but it is going to allow them to stop that flag being picked up by Nova. Big man Joe doing what he can on the opposite side here to Bagnall, and they really do need to unite and try and combine to actually make some ground.
Yeah, Bagnall there is currently playing really, really well. If we just bring it up, 18 kills for Bagnall, top fragging on his team, but 23-9 for Big Timer. Well played, but Ruben has just taken down 2. Bagnall is weak off a Semtex coming up that middle. As time goes on, they are looking less and less likely to be able to pull these flags, but to be honest, I think they've played well. Yeah,
they've done absolutely brilliantly. Big Timer again playing sensational throughout this capture the flags he did previously on bootleg, and is really on good form for this event. But it is not over yet for Nova. You know, we ruled them out previously. They did manage to get that very, very late flag capture. We should probably see a more defensive Optic as we hit this 1 minute 30 mark of the final half here on Capture the Flag Dome. And Big Timer again, just kill after kill on that kill feed.
Yeah, he is literally dominating it. I think he's rented a space on there for this weekend. Big man Joe trying to push down, but no, Merc has shut him down. Seth taking down Saint as well. So I think with 1 minute 10 left on that clock, I think it is a little bit too late for Nova, unable to pull a flag as of yet. So, but one good relay could potentially make them draw, but I can't see it happening. The way Optic are set up at the minute, of course, they've only got to defend for 55 more seconds, so I can't really see it happening. But I think Nova have put one hell of a fight up, but we are going to see Search and Destroy on Seatown next map.
Yeah, I mean, if anything's going to happen from Nova, it needs to be now. They need to be making these kills, but unfortunately they cannot. That said, Big Man Joe with the 2-piece trying to follow it up and find someone else, not giving up at all. And you're absolutely right, Gucci, it has to be a relay if they're going to make this, and it's just looking less and less likely as we hit the 30-second mark, but Rubes takes out 2. Rambo is still ready to defend. Yeah,
Rambo there just cleaning up the mess. That did finally stop that flag push. I think, to be honest, that was great play there from Big Man Joe, showing his objective work. He took down 2, saw one middle map, didn't go for the 3-piece, knew he was too far away and it would have took too much time, so he just wanted to get down to that flag. So that was nice play from him, but unfortunately too little too late. 10 seconds left on that clock does mean that it has gone 2-0 in Optic's favour. 32 kills so far from Big Timer.
Yeah, Rambo struggling a little bit there on the scoreboard with regards to kills and deaths, but it is definitely not about that at all. It is about how many flags you capture, and Optic come out on top there with a 2-0 victory. Certainly different to what we saw on bootleg, which was incredibly close. I do feel that that was fairly one-sided. It wasn't a complete domination by Optic, but it certainly was always going in their favour.
Yeah, Big Timer there. I'd just like to props to him. He did play ever so well there. Now, guys, I personally think the stream quality has been up so much from last time. So if you guys, we can't personally see the stream chat at the minute, but if you would like to tweet us or EGL Pro in general, my personal Twitter at Gucci, GOOCHHYY, Rels at the VP Brothers, and of course at EGL Pro. Please let us know your thoughts on this, because as I have said, we can't see the stream chat.